Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're swapping the usual city hustle for the warm water and humid air of the KwaZulu-Natal North Coast.
Hmm.
But we are not here on holiday. We're doing a bit of a forensic investigation into one of the most, well, explosive real estate transformations South Africa has ever seen.
It's truly astonishing, isn't it? I mean, this whole stretch from Langa, sweeping north up to Salt Rock, it was always just sugarcane fields in a pretty slow coastal life.
Right, sleepy towns.
Exactly. But in the last 5 years, and it really kicked in high gear around 2020, this corridor it's transformed into an economic and lifestyle powerhouse. It's arguably the fastest growing property market in the whole country now.
So our mission today is to really unpack that. How did this quiet coastal strip completely reinvent itself to become the sort of undisputed center for secure luxury living in South Africa?
Yeah.
We need to understand not just the property values, but the fundamental lifestyle choices that are driving thousands of people and a huge amount of capital here.
And that's the key. It's a direct reflection of changing priorities. Post-pandemic, I think a lot of South Africans had this realization. They figured out they could get world-class amenities, great schools, shops, hospitals, without being stuck in a dense inland city.
And the North Coast had the answer.
It provided that perfect combination.
Yeah.
Convenience, incredible natural beauty, and the big one, security.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics of it. What are the specific measurable factors that are acting like this magnet, pulling thousands of buyers, often from upcountry, to this pretty concentrated stretch of coast? It has to be more than just nice beaches, right?
Oh, absolutely. We can really isolate 5 key drivers, and they all work together. The first one, and it's non-negotiable for this market, is lifestyle appeal.
Okay.
We're talking about designing your whole life around the outdoors, so secure nature trails, private beach access, sports facilities, clubhouses that honestly feel like 5-star resorts.
So it's for that modern family that wants everything on their doorstep.
Exactly. Activity and convenience, all in one package.
And I'm guessing wrapping all of that appeal is the foundation. Secure estate living.
That's it. In the South African context, a high-security estate isn't just a luxury option anymore. For many, it's the prerequisite. It's what gives you the peace of mind to actually let your kids go out and enjoy that lifestyle we just talked about.
That's the foundation. But what turned it from just a holiday spot into a place you could actually live full-time?
Right. That would be driver number 3, infrastructure growth. And when we say infrastructure, we need to be specific. We're talking about huge upgrades to the N2 interchange, new road networks that ease congestion. But crucially, the sources point to the arrival of these flagship private schools, Redham House, Curro Plus, top-tier medical facilities, and big retail hubs.
So the region isn't a satellite of Durban or Mlanga anymore. It's become this self-sufficient ecosystem. You don't have to compromise on your kids' education or healthcare.
Precisely. And that self-sufficiency feeds directly into the 4th driver, investment confidence. Because the amenities are so good and the demand is so consistent, properties here show really strong capital appreciation. Even when the national market takes a dip, this little corridor tends to stay resilient.
So people see it as a safe place to park their money.
A very safe place. It often has rental yields that are way higher than inland cities, especially around places like Ballito and Salt Rock.
And that leads us to the 5th factor, which is probably the most visible one, the sheer number of people moving, the whole semigration phenomenon.
The numbers they're compelling. A huge percentage of all new sales are driven by families moving permanently from Gauteng. They are literally selling their homes in Johannesburg or Pretoria to buy into this lifestyle.
But that does bring up a really important question, though. When you have this massive influx of people and rapid development, doesn't that growth start to, erode the very tranquility that people move there for in the first place?
That is the essential tension of the North Coast boom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And you see it. You see it in the increased traffic, especially in holiday season, and you see the strain on local resources outside the estate walls.
So how is that being managed?
Well, ironically, the market's response has been to double down on private infrastructure. So private roads, private security, even private water management systems inside the estates, it creates this highly developed kind of segregated zone.
The result of all this is just a relentless development boom. I mean, the KZN North Coast has launched more estates in the last 10 years than any other coastal strip in the country.
And we can't forget the silent factor enabling all of this. King Shaka International Airport.
Ah, the proximity. That's gold.
It's absolute gold. I mean, a high-powered executive from Joburg or even Europe can be at their estate gate 30 minutes after landing. It just removes all the friction from coastal living. It turns the North Coast into a business gateway, not just a holiday spot.
So let's move from the drivers to the actual product. These luxury estates are the backbone of this whole new identity. When we look at them, what really defines modern luxury coastal living here? What makes it different from, say, an estate in the Cape or Gauteng?
I think the big difference is a shift away from, old school ostentation toward something more experiential and integrated. Luxury here is defined by access to nature and functional sustainability.
Okay, what does that mean in practice?
It means a deep commitment to things like nature conservation and wetland rehabilitation.
Now, that sounds a bit like technical jargon. Why is something like wetland rehabilitation such a big deal for a residential development? It sounds expensive.
It's incredibly expensive
Right.
and technically very challenging. Wetlands are vital. They're natural filters. They control floods. And when you develop so close to the coast, you put huge pressure on them. So these estates aren't just leaving a few trees here and there. They are actively investing millions in engineering and restoring these areas back to full health. And for a buyer, that shows a developer is thinking long-term, which is a huge sign of quality.
So beyond the ecosystem, what does a resident get on a day-to-day basis? We're way past just a golf course and a pool now, aren't we?
Oh, miles past that. We're seeing resort-style amenities,
Right.
exclusive clubhouses that are like boutique hotels, equestrian centers for that affluent country coastal blend, huge networks of forest trails, wellness zones,
A whole package.
the whole package. And the architecture itself is part of that luxury definition.
How so?
There's a real focus on architectural excellence. They have strict guidelines, natural palettes, coastal designs, contemporary farm style to make sure everything looks cohesive. It protects property values in the long run.
Okay, to really ground this, let's dive into some specifics. The sources highlight 4 iconic estates that sort of define the different corners of this market. Let's start with the original, the benchmark, Simbithi Eco Estate.
Simbithi really is the pioneer. It launched years ago, and it set the standard for this kind of integrated, family-friendly living when the whole eco estate idea was still pretty new in South Africa.
So what makes it so popular, even with all the shiny new competition?
Its maturity. The landscaping is established, the trees are grown, it has these beautiful rolling hills and dams with incredible bird life. It's not a construction site anymore, it's a functioning, tranquil ecosystem.
And the community aspect is strong there, I hear.
Very strong. It's built around its community centers and its 18-hole golf course. And for anyone looking to invest, what's really crucial is that Simbithi properties are very tightly held. The resale rate is low, which tells you demand is high, and it's a super stable investment.
Okay, so from the established player to the new guard. Let's talk about Zululami Luxury Coastal Estate. It seems to put nature and design right at the forefront.
Zululami, which means my heaven, is right on the Sheffield Beach coastline.
Yeah.
It's special because of its absolute commitment to conservation.
Yeah.
Over half of the entire estate is dedicated to protecting coastal forests and natural corridors.
Wow, over half.
It's a genuine blend of luxury living within a protected environment, and its coastal advantage is huge.
In what way?
It has direct access to Christmas Bay and Sheffield Beach, which are some of the most, pristine swimming and snorkeling spots on the whole coast. They also offer a bit more architectural flexibility within that natural palette, which buyers really like.
Right next door to that, we have Seaton Estate. And this feels like coastal luxury on a whole other level. The scale is just monumental.
Seaton's often called the North Coast's crown jewel for that exact reason. Its size and its premium, uninterrupted ocean frontage. It's one of the last big, undeveloped coastal land parcels left in KZN.
So when you're dealing with that kind of scale, you're not just building a clubhouse, you're building facilities for a small town, essentially.
That's a great way to put it. The amenities have to rival private resorts. The Seaton Country Club is a massive draw. It has everything. But the standout feature, which gives you an idea of the sheer size, is the 26-kilometer trail network.
26 kilometers.
Yeah, that's bigger than the trail network in some provincial nature reserves. Plus, they have these huge equestrian facilities. It's positioned as the ultimate country coastal hub, the future gateway of the region.
And then for our final one, let's look at Brettenwood Coastal Estate. It feels like a contrast, aiming for privacy and peace rather than Seaton's sheer scale.
It is. Brettenwood is the hidden gem. It's set back a little on the slopes above Sheffield Beach, and it really targets the buyer who wants tranquility over the constant buzz of a bigger community. It's designed for a calmer atmosphere.
It sounds perfect for, say, a family or retirees looking for a long-term home.
Exactly. It's very family and retirement friendly. You see more single-level homes, the streets feel safer and slower. And while it doesn't have the mega clubhouses of its neighbors, that peaceful exclusivity is its form of luxury. And it's paid off. It has shown excellent market stability and long-term appreciation.
So it's clear the unique selling point of this whole corridor is just how concentrated everything is. World-class beaches, top schools, secure estates, and the airport, all within a tiny strip of land. So who is actually buying this? What do the market profiles look like?
We can pretty much identify 5 distinct profiles. First, the engine room. Goting families. They're relocating permanently for the security and lifestyle, and they're bringing serious capital with them.
Then you must have the pure investors.
Oh yeah, the shrewd investors. They're chasing those high coastal returns, buying up sectional titles in Ballito and Salt Rock, knowing they'll get high occupancy rates.
And what about the younger generation?
We're seeing a huge wave of young professionals. Remote work has been a game changer. They can choose lifestyle over location. Why sit in city traffic when you can work from the coast?
Right, and then you have retirees looking for that security and community, and finally a growing number of international buyers.
Mainly Europeans. They see the North Coast as a fantastic deal for a secure holiday home or a good RAN-based investment.
What's fascinating is that the sources are clear. This boom is not over, not by a long shot. What does the development pipeline look like for the next, say, 5 to 10 years?
The pipeline is incredibly robust, and it's diversifying beyond just homes. We're seeing major commercial business parks being planned, massive new retail centers, and upgrades to hospitality, new hotels, new resorts.
So that commercial development is key. It stops the area from just becoming a residential sprawl and turns it into a genuine, functioning economic hub.
It's what underpins the long-term investment potential. It ensures the job market and service industries grow with the population. That sustained investment is what will keep the area resilient.
The KZN North Coast is really redefining modern South African living. It's this incredible blend of security, natural beauty, and top-tier infrastructure. Whether it's Simbithi's established elegance, Zululami's eco-focus, Seaton's grand scale, or Brettenwood's peaceful charm, the common promise is a better way of life.
And that's why it's been so successful. It's managed to combine these established community models like Simbithi with massive new-scale developments like Seaton. But this does leave us with a big question for you to think about. As this development pipeline continues to flood the corridor with more retail, more commercial parks, hundreds of new homes, how does the KZN North Coast manage the environmental cost? Will the pressure of all this growth eventually erode the very tranquility and peaceful atmosphere that attracted people to places like Brettenwood in the first place?
A constant balancing act.
It's the defining challenge of South African coastal growth, isn't it? Preserving the essence while profiting from the demand.
A vital consideration for anyone looking at this dynamic market. The KZN North Coast remains an incredible success story, offering some of the most rewarding lifestyle and property investments in the country. We definitely encourage you to explore this thriving corridor further.